So I'm folding laundry, and I was thinking about how things have been moving with music and you know everything as a whole. And I started thinking how I've been like, for those that don't know, I've been doing music. I've been making music since I was like 13, and I started a record label back in the day called London Entertainment, and then over time that transitioned into what is now my company 1033 Records. And 1033 is expanded into a lot of stuff. 1033 Records, 1033 Films. The brand is 1033 at this point. But the one that gets the most attention is 1033 Records. I have like 1,000 songs out, solo or features, collabs, whatever. And I started thinking how today, right, if I, God forbid, but today I was never able or never allowed to make another song again, would I be all right? And while creatively the answer is no, I know, like, based on my discography, the answer is yeah. I'd be all right. There's enough songs that I could probably make money off of songs for the rest of my life without having to make more of my own. And then I started thinking, like, okay, all of the goals that I had set from when I was a child to now, how much of those have I hit and how much of those have I missed? And for the most part, I used to look at it like, oh, I missed a lot. Like, I missed every goal that I set. But the reality of it is, I'm actually a lot closer to the things that I wanted as a child than I thought. I do own my company. I own all my music. I, run the label. I engineer. I produce. I help people, get their projects going. And I'm just going through this list mentally. I've been, as close to dead as one can be, and been brought back. And I'm just like, I've actually done a lot. And I need to take some time and be appreciative of the stuff that I've done. And then I started thinking more about the people around me and stuff that I've done with those people. And I look back and I spent, from maybe 2009 to, like, as a child, from like 2009 to maybe 2018, just me, just a lot of solo stuff and, maybe a feature here, a collab here. But then 2018, 2019, 2020, it was a lot of collabs, like full compilation albums, collab EPs, collab albums. It was just, you know, getting it all under my belt, working with other people, engineering and executive producing their albums, producing for some, all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, man, I've really done a lot. Like, I've put my all into this for so long. And then I fast forward to releasing my 30th birthday album in September and seeing my definition of success for that. And I'm like, okay, this is I worked hard. This is nice. But then I'm still thinking, like, there are some people that I'll never speak to again who only have music released because we cross paths. And I do think that's a blessing. I think that for them to be able to look at their life and cross that off of their bucket list and know that I had a hand in helping shape that, it's like, okay, these are more meaningful moments than a viral hit or, a viral video or something like that. Like, I legitimately helped change somebody's life. And then I start thinking even more, and I'm like, okay, well, what's next? Like, what's next for me? Like, what do I want to accomplish with this stuff? And then I keep thinking back. It's it's so much bigger than me with stuff. I've been able to make songs with some of my students and give them an opportunity to make money off of their voice and their ideas. And, friends, family, strangers, there are all these different people that I've crossed paths with, that I've been able to create with, and just really be able to enjoy the blessing that is creation. And then I'm just sitting and I'm like, man, even though I've done all of that, I still feel like it's not enough. And I think that comes from the lack of tangible success, right? I don't see a lot of money. There's money, but it's nothing crazy. I don't see a lot of money going into a bank account. I don't see a lot of followers showing up on stuff, right? And to that point, right? I only have like 1,000 to 1,400, 1,500 followers total, but there are people that'll see that number and think that I'm not serious or think that I'm an amateur for stuff. No, it's just for whatever reason, socially, like on social media, I haven't been able to find that circle of people, right? And I do think some of that comes from I'm not super outgoing and kiki on the internet and stuff. I'm just chill. I'm laid back. I do a lot of talking in person. I'll play some games. I'll make music, but it's real. I'm real level headed and I'm focused with stuff. So I put my stuff out. I do my promotional runs. I have my conversations and stuff, and I get back to work. And I'm able to own up and say where my fault comes into some of that in terms of having to. I don't want to say be a character because I'm not a character. It's just me, but I do get what people mean when they say that. So it's understandable that I'm where I'm at based on the things that I do. Even though I work extremely hard, the people that know me, the people that I interact with, they'll tell me that I'm the hardest worker out of everybody. That I deserve to be in, these places up here. But then I look at the situation. I'm like, hey, well, I guess I just haven't worked hard enough, and I can own up to that. But then I continue that thought process, and I'm like, well, is that even something that I want for myself in that way? Because I know the connotation is, to be a good rapper, you need to be a good performer. You got to have a great stage presence. You want to be a star. You got to get out here. You got to get on the stage. And I think I am coming to terms with accepting the fact that I don't ever want to be a major performer in that regard. Like I don't necessarily want to be on the stage performing my songs. If a moment comes and it's for a good cause and it's a meaningful scenario, then yeah, like I can put a set list together and we can get to it. But overall, I don't think that's something that I've ever truly wanted to do, regardless of how much music I make, right? And I think that's a hard part for me to deal with because I also understand the connection between social media growth, fan base growth, and live performance. Where I can meet as many people as I want, release as much music as I want, do as many videos as I want, mix and produce and do all of these things and be everywhere and be your favorite artist in secret and stuff like that. Like some of the messages that I've gotten from artists and some major artists that I've met, and it's just like they think I'm in a place where I know I'm not. And it's so strange because these are people that I'm like, man, you way up here and we chopping it up and you're asking me for advice on how to do stuff because you see how I operate and you're like, man, I wish I could do stuff the way you doing it. But from my perspective, I'm like, you already where I was trying to get to. So it's just random, but that's what's been on my mind recently with all my music and everything, because I do feel like I've poured so much into it. I do want to see something come from it, but it's also like how much of that is going to be on me to change and do something different to get what I'm looking for, and how much of it is it's just not my turn, it's just not my time, and I need to keep working and stay dedicated and stay faithful to what God has put in me, and just continue to do my part.